Hello and welcome to another edition of Que Pasa Hialeah. Hi, my name is Dr. Tony Cruz. I'm the campus president here at the Hialeah campus of Miami-Dade College. And today we have a really special guest, and that's our district president, President Madeline Pumariega. And she is joining us today. Welcome, President Pumariega. How are you today?
Good, good. Thank you, President Cruz, for the warm welcome. Great to be on Que Pasa Hialeah.
Well, we were really happy, and we know that you were born in Hialeah, raised in Hialeah. And so I'll just start off by just asking a question, how's that impacted your life and your career, being somebody from Hialeah, being from South Florida? I know we know that you have a very long trajectory in your career in higher education. So how's that impacted your life and your career?
So I think growing up in Hialeah, you really get it's this city of progress, as we say, and it's about hard work and humility. I saw it with my parents. I saw it with my neighbors. Neighbors came over and helped each other, and along with my family. I think the other aspect that it really influenced me is I was a product of Filer Junior High and Hialeah High and Parks and Recreation. I first started playing basketball in the parks at
Right.
Mylander Park. I learned how to swim at Walker Park.
Mhm.
And so I went to elementary, kindergarten, May Walters. The sense of community in Hialeah is really special. And I think that the sense of really having purpose in your life to move ahead and get ahead is kind of palpable all over the city. And so I think that influenced a lot of who I am. And I'm always proud to say I'm still that girl from Hialeah
Yeah.
because most of my family still lives in Hialeah. And I go to those same places and get to show my daughter the places that were my stomping ground as I was growing up.
That's great. And we're really happy to have you as our college president, and specifically, we're really proud of you being from Hialeah. That's a really great thing. So, I know that you've been in higher education for a while. We're not kids, right? But but it's been a very, I think your journey as a higher education administrator and other things that you've done have been uh, pretty amazing. So what drives your passion around higher education? Because that's where you've spent most of your career.
So I think what drives my passion is I know how it transformed my life.
Mhm.
One of the best decisions I made, although it was really my mom saying I couldn't go away to college, was
Mhm.
to attend Miami-Dade. Then it was called Community College and it was the South Campus.
Right.
And I played basketball there. And I know that the opportunities the college gave me and higher education gives. And so that's why I'm passionate about there's one way to transform lives, and it's through education. When you think about what an education provides to someone, the kind of economic capital to
Mhm.
make more
Right.
money, the social capital for the people that they meet in the process, and the cultural capital, the access to programs that expand your world, expand your perspectives. And so I've dedicated my life to transform people's lives through education, whether it was my 20 years at Miami Dade College,
Mhm.
then Take Stock in Children, which is a nonprofit organization, focused on helping kids in poverty get to college and
Right.
transform their lives, or as chancellor of the state at the big scale. And then to come back now is really a privilege and an honor to serve at an institution that gave me so much opportunity.
Yes, and you definitely know this institution very well. And so because of that, I think that as we're looking at the things that are happening now with, we've been going through the pandemic now for a year, and there's other things, and you know how higher education is always changing. What do you see as maybe a challenge? What's the biggest challenge, and maybe even what's the biggest opportunity for Miami-Dade College now at this point in its history?
So I'm always a glass half full person. I look, challenges are really all opportunities for us to lead or opportunities for us to innovate. And I think that the opportunities for us right now is number one priority is help our students through this pandemic and help our communities that we serve through the pandemic. And how can we help them? Offering the type of programs that are going to lead them to the jobs of today and really the jobs of the future. because the pandemic accelerated the future. It's now when we think about jobs. I
Mhm.
think another opportunity is how we redesign our student experience, the way that we support students. How do we leverage a virtual environment to provide access for students who otherwise may not have had it? And how do we also then deploy a suite of support virtually for students so we can get to them at the time they need us? So many of our students are balancing life and work, and
Right.
sometimes they need a tutor at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
This has given us that opportunity ahead of us. And then I would say just the last one is that we continue to advocate in Tallahassee for the dollars that we need to support our students and work closely with our Miami-Dade College Foundation Board and the
Right.
Board of Trustees to secure that kind of funding to keep us innovative and keep us as an organization that's nimble and that we're putting students first and
Mhm.
continuing to drive academic excellence.
Well, that's excellent and good to hear all those things because I think all those things are very necessary for our community to go forward after we get through this pandemic and just even in the future, right? I mean, we're building on that future right now. Um, Coming in as our new college president in January, I know that you've been already doing many things to improve the student experience, to improve how the relationships in here, within the college with employees, our faculty and staff. As personal goals, as you're going into now, been on the job here in a few months. What are some of your personal goals for your first year as college president?
So I would say one of the things that is really important to me is creating a culture of care at the
Mhm.
college. I think that that's personally important to me because if people feel that the institution cares about them, whether it's faculty, staff, and students, then they're going to engage more. And I think creating that, and we've done that by making sure, for example, we added COVID testing on 2 of our campuses.
Right.
We started vaccines at the North Campus over a month ago, and then now been selected by the White House to be a super site.
Mhm.
Those are ways that we say we care. The way that we put together programs for students so that we connect early with them. They can see their academic pathway. We know the resources that are available to them and they know how to access them. If we do that, then we really engage our students in a deep and meaningful way that will help them achieve those academic goals and those career goals. And so I think that's one of the things that's important because if we do that as well,
Mhm.
I think the rest of it takes care of itself. What are the other priorities, right? Growing our enrollment, making
Right.
sure our academic programs are innovative and are preparing students to transfer to a university or those that are going into work. How do we make sure that we're providing the right educational environment on our campuses for students and for
Mhm.
our faculty to achieve that academic excellence? But it starts with, do people feel the institution cares about them? And
Right.
is there an environment that thrives on everyone's strengths?
Mhm.
And together we do more because we care about one another, we trust one another. And so that's important.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like presidents will put all of these quantifiable goals and forget that the personal piece is
Mhm.
so important first and building that trust and vision together as a college instead of the president's vision, but it's our vision.
Excellent. And we here at the Hialeah campus want to make sure we support that vision and really believe in the culture of care. So I want to thank you for joining us today, President Pumariega. We really appreciate everything you're doing. We know we're very excited about everything that's happening at the college. We want to keep on building on that momentum. And so thank you for joining me here today. And thank you all for joining us on this episode of Que Pasa Hialeah. Hope to see you next time. Thank you.